we go. Alrighty. Yo, where's the moon? There we go. Alrighty. Hello. Had a lovely stream for you guys today. Oh man. Let me go here. Hello. Yep, there you go. I can be heard. So yeah, how's it going, everybody? Hope you all are doing well tonight. Wanted to play some Steins for tonight because I don't know next time I'm gonna be able to play it. Got work coming up, and also try to edit this video. But I wanted to take a break because like a break isn't like a break for today, nothing else. Because don't want to burn myself out. It is coming along though. Progress is smooth, it's steady, and I'm happy with how it's coming out so far. But yeah, wanted to play this game for a bit. One of my friends, I was talking to him yesterday. He popped in the stream and he was like, "Yo, I had to leave. I couldn't get spoiled. I gotta play the game for myself." And I was like, "Hey man, you came in at the wrong time." But yeah, I'm excited but sad because if you saw last stream, you saw last stream. We also know why this stream is called this, but yeah, for anybody wondering or watching the vlog, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's just wanted to get a little thematic, a little artsy with the thumbnail for this video because I don't know. I thought it'd be fun. I'm happy with it. Honestly, I'm happy with this thumbnail. It's kind of hard, but yeah. Let's get back to it. So let's play the backlog. Oh, no matter how many times I call her name, Mayuri doesn't answer. Mayuri is standing in front of a grave, gazing at the sky. The grave belongs to her grandmother, who died when Mayuri was 11 years old. Her parents were always busy with work, so her grandmother was her only companion. I was close to Mayuri's family, so her death was sad for me too. At the wake, I expected Mayuri to break down and cry. She didn't. Instead, she spent the whole time gazing vacantly at her grandmother's memorial portrait. 6 months went by. I had advanced to middle school, so Mayuri and I no longer commuted together. But whenever I passed the cemetery on the way home, Mayuri would always be standing there. Every day, rain or shine, she would stand for hours before the grave, staring wordlessly at the sky as if she could see her grandmother in heaven. In her hands, an old pocket watch. The watch had belonged to her grandmother. Mayuri always held it when visiting the grave. No matter how many times I called her name, Mayuri did not answer. Back then, Mayuri wouldn't talk to anyone. Not to me, not even to her parents. Whenever I saw her standing there, staring at the sky, I felt an unease grip my heart. Her gaze was so earnest, her attention so pure, that I feared some power might grant her wish and carry her off to heaven to join her beloved grandmother. And so, to ensure that nothing like that happened, I made sure to stop by the cemetery every day. I would stand next to the sky-gazing Mayuri and call her name. But no matter how many times I'd call her, Mayuri wouldn't reply. Only sound in the lonely cemetery was the echo of my voice, calling her name. It was raining that day too. Mayuri held a light blue umbrella. In contrast to the umbrella's color, the sky glazed gray, covered in clouds. After a while, the rain stopped. Rays of light shone through gaps in the clouds, a stunningly beautiful sight. Rembrandt rays, they are called, or sometimes the angel's ladder. Suddenly, a strong wind swept through the cemetery. It caught Mayuri's umbrella and carried it into the sky. Mayuri seemed not to notice. She kept staring at the sky. And then slowly, so very slowly, she stretched her hand out to the sky, as if to grasp the rays of light, as if her grandmother were reaching down to pull her up. And then, she lifted herself on her toes. To me, it looked as if she was floating up towards heaven. Impulsively, I grabbed Mayuri's outstretched hand and pulled her into my embrace. In retrospect, my fears were just a childish fantasy, but at the time, I truly believed that Mayuri might vanish.
どこにも行かせないぞ。連れてなんて行かせない。
I realized how embarrassing those words coming from my mouth were.
マユリは俺の人質だ。人体実験の生贄なんだ。
It was his first excuse that came to mind. Before her grandmother died, Mayuri and I were fans of a popular TV series about costume heroes battling evil. I particularly admired the villain, a mad scientist, and we got pretty good at mimicking the lines. Now I was doing it to hide my embarrassment. I could feel my face growing red, but I kept up the mad scientist act all the same. Nothing else that was better than admitting my insecurities.
どこにも逃がさないからな。
As I said this, I realized that Mayuri was shaking. She whispered. It was the first time in 6 months that I heard her speak. Her voice was choked with tears. She smiled happily. Tears fell from her eyes. And then, Mayuri buried her face in my chest. Where am I? Who am I? I can't see. I can barely think. A terrible screech fills my head, like feedback from a giant speaker. Whoa, there you go. Whoa. There you go. I ain't got cheeseburger money. Make a sandwich. Hey, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, hi. It penetrates my brain like 100 sharp needles stabbing me right behind the eyes. I thought brains were supposed to feel pain. there's more. I feel a shiver of pleasure beneath the pain, and terrible itching like my body's on fire.
Kabe?
I want to crack open my skull and tear my brain out. I want to scrape out my soft gray matter with my fingers. Ew.
Oh?
The assault on my brain is driving me crazy. Who am I?
ちょっと岡部、どうしたのよ。
Suddenly, the shattered pieces of the world reform. I slowly come back to my senses. I'm in the lab, standing in front of the phone wave, named Subject to Change, with my cell phone in my ear. No, not the phone wave, named Subject to Change, since headgear is attached to it. It's a time leak machine. It's hard to breathe. Give me oxygen. I hear a low, wheezing groan and realize that it's coming from my own throat. I close my mouth and take a deep breath. The insides of my throat feel like they're burning. I resist the urge to cough and continue filling my lungs with air. I notice that I'm drenched in sweat. The drops lying down my forehead are annoying. I try to wipe them away with the back of my right hand. My hand obeys, slowly. Something's off. It's like my body and my mind aren't totally in sync with each other. Almost as if this isn't really my body. As if my nerves aren't communicating properly with my extremities. I try breathing slowly. This might just be my imagination. Could this be exhaustion? I haven't slept much lately. Try to move my hand again. There's no disconnect this time. This is my body.
岡部、聞いてる？
A familiar voice. Turn around slowly. Kurisu's there. She stares at me, perplexed.
どうしたのよ。急にすごい声出して。
What's she talking about?
具合悪いの？
I try answering, but my voice doesn't work too well. Even more bewildered, I clear my throat several times.
いや、問題ない。
そう。だったらさっさと出かける準備しなさいよ。買い出し行くんでしょ？
買い出し？
For what? I search for my memories. The moment I do, the images appear in my mind like a string of exploding light bulbs.
人間は根源的に時間的存在者である。
もう大丈夫だね。
タイムリープしてもいいの？
I remember now. I used a time leak machine.
未来の記憶を思い出すのよ。
That's right. What am I standing around for?
ここはどこだ？
は？
I grab Kurisu's shoulder and pull her close.
今は何時だ？何月何日の何時何分だ？
痛い。落ち着け。
落ち着いていられるか？買い出しって言ったろ。
What shopping trip is she talking about? Dad was sitting at his computer, staring at us wide-eyed.
ダル、今日は何日だ？今は何時なんだ
？13日の5時ちょっと過ぎだけど。
The 13th, a little past 5.
成功したのか？
Did I manage to time leap in the middle of all that chaos? Did my memories really jump through time? Does that mean I've leaped into my past self? Is there a chance that it was all a dream? Thinking back, forward, it doesn't seem real. Commandos breaking into a lab like it's something out of a Hollywood movie. But the sight of my Yuri, broken and bloody, is burned into my mind. I remember the smell of blood, the sounds of the gunshot, the weight of the headgear on my head, the pain of the bullet tearing through my arm, Carissa screaming, Caesar fighting to defend us. I remember it all vividly. I touched my arm. No bullet holes, no pain even. Was it all a dream? I don't know. I never timed that before. I only hope that it was a dream. A future like that is too much to bear. I recall my Yuri's last moments and my eyes filled with tears. I forced the tide of emotion back. I look around the lab. Kurisu and daughter are here, but I can't find my Yuri.
どこってルカシのところに行くってさっき言ってたじゃんか。オカリン聞いてなかったん？
That's right, my Yuri went to Beklukaka to wear her costume. She won't return until it's time for the party. What do I do? What do I believe? Was it a dream? Or was it real? If it was a dream, then I don't have to worry about anything. If it was real, then I need to act now. I take a deep breath.
あれは夢だったんだ。あんなの現実に起きるはずがない。
It was a nightmare brought on by anxiety, that's all. There's no other logical explanation. I desperately persuade myself that it's so. Little do I know I will soon regret my foolishness. Kurisu goes shopping alone. I stay in the lab with Daru waiting for my Yuri to return.
トゥットゥルーただい
An innocent smile. My Yuri's alive. Nothing will happen to her. I was worried for nothing. When Suzuha arrives, we begin the meeting.
まーオカリオカリフェリスちゃんやルカちゃんにもね声をかけたんだけど
I heard those
今日
words
は
before,
無理っ
yep.
て言われちゃった
Deja vu, a trick of the mind.
そうか。何か用事でもあったのか。
So I actually don't like this part because it really is a waste of the reader's mind, even if like it's your first time, or excuse me, not mine, time. But you know, I'm still gonna go through it, so. Alright, deja vu. The feeling of having experienced something before despite not having actually experienced it. It feels like you are genuinely or recalling a genuine past experience as opposed to an imagined experience or a dream. However, you are unable to recall when and where that experience occurred, which results in an intense feeling of strangeness. The cause of deja vu has yet to be determined. One theory is that it is a physiological phenomenon caused by a temporary desynchronization of the recollection and storage functions of memory. The cause is theorized to be spasms in the brain's parahippocampal gyrus, which is in charge of spatial reasoning and a sensation of familiarity. I experienced deja vu a lot, but like, not deja vu that like, oh, I experienced this before. Deja vu where it's like, I had a dream about this, but now it's happening. So it's like, it's not deja vu that like, oh, I can't remember when it happened. I remember when it happened. It was legit a dream. Like, I experienced this thing almost entirely in a dream. And it always weirds me out because it's like, yo, what's going on?
フェリスちゃんは今日はライネットの大会
しまった。応援行きそび。
あとねルカちゃんは
ここに来たらまたマヨリのコスを着させられるって思っ
It's
たん
just
じゃ
like
ない
my dream. I never remembered a dream this vividly before. I remember every word that was
コスプレの
spoken.
件か。 もしかしてまだ説得できていないのか。
恥ずかしいんだって。可愛いは正義なのに。
可愛いは正義って。
クリスちゃんもね。
え
ねえねえ、新作は無理だけど。
私がちょっと。あ、でも私も
着るだけでいいよ。でもそういえばクリスちゃんっていつ。
うんこれ2週間だけ。
おお、明日コスン。
いいわ。
撮影会は何時からですか？
相変わらずはず。
だってブラチューの
パンモロ。
パンツがもろに見えているの略。
嘘。
大丈夫だ。クリスちゃんは知らないかもだけどね、パンツじゃないから
日本終わってた。
絶対来てね。絶対だよ。やめといた方がいいんじゃないかな。
Okay, let me see. Yep, same old. Suzuha speaks, her tone sharp. She's scowling at Kurisu again. Suddenly, the atmosphere in the room changes. I remember this too. I feel like I'm losing my mind here. I'm glad the anime cut this, honestly.
それこの前から思ってたんだけど。
直接は
何よ。
だろうね。
へえ、すごい。
装置なんてない。
つまり
事実だって。おかり。
Mayuri clings to me with teary eyes.
二人を止めて。
Should I listen to Mayuri's plea like I did in a dream? Knowing that I can't stop the fight, should I just let Mayuri handle it instead? I don't know. I can't move a muscle.
もう
Mayuri pouts, then goes over to the two girls.
二人とも聞いて。マユシーはね、喧嘩は嫌いなのです。
Yep,
仲良
same
く
as
しよう
before.
よ。
Same as before. But I can't pay attention to what I see on the screen. It doesn't enter my head. Mayuri sits down next to me. She peels a banana and begins eating it.
ねえねえ、オカリ、なんだかね、ここ何週間。
Stop it. Why are you saying the same things as in a terrible dream? It was a dream. It has to be a dream.
楽しいね。
Mayuri smiles happily, not noticing my lack of reply.
あのね、ラボメンが8時にまずね、買ってこなくちゃだよ。
I
オ
shake
カ
my
リン
head
はお金
wordlessly.
ある？
I shake my head wordlessly. For some reason, I'm afraid to look Mayuri in the face.
マユシンのバイト代もちょっと出していいよ。あとはね、で、オカリン、大丈夫？元気ないよ。
いや、
体調良くないのかな。だったらね、休まなきゃ。横になる？膝枕してあげるよ。
That's so sweet. Mayuri is so sweet.
そんな恥ずかしいことを。
Before I can finish, the television interrupts me with an urgent news bulletin. Subtitles read terrorists threat suspends Yamanote Sobu Keihin to Hoku lines.
爆破テロよ。
つうか全部秋葉原駅通ってるじゃん。
本当だ。
嘘だろ。
It's the same. Every last thing the same.
岡部倫太郎、一つ聞かせて。
It was a dream.
タイムリープマシンは完成してるんだよね。
It had to be a dream. But if it was a dream, then why?
聞いてる？
タイムリープマシンは完成してるけど。
そっか。私、用事思い出したからちょっと出かけてくる。
Suzuha leaves the lab without another word.
何なの彼女。
Does she know what's about to happen? Nothing's gonna happen. The break-in was a dream. But no matter how hard I try to convince myself of that, I can't shake the icy hand clutching my heart. I can't breathe. Even though it's hot and humid, my body shivers. I remember this feeling too, from the dream. Did I choose wrong? Was I granted a second chance only to let it go to waste? Soft feeling against my fingers. I look down to see my Yuri's hand holding mine. When I look up, I see worry written in her face. I reflexively look towards the door. If a dream wasn't a dream, then any second now. Yep. Happens exactly as I remember. Yeah, I'm just gonna...
抵抗は
Yeah, it was a waste of time. There you go. Now we should be good. Because if I remember correctly, it doesn't happen like that again. One second. Oy. Give me 1 second real quick. Oh, not that. Definitely not that. Can capture. There you go. Alright, give me 1 second. I'll be back. good. Alright, back at it.
This is stupid. I want to talk about vaginas!
Is that Jack Daniels? I guess it is. Okay. Alright, back at it. So, as I was gonna say, I don't like that section. I know I understand like the purpose of it. It's what's the word? It's the first time he's been present, like actually there for time to time travel, and especially after a stressful situation like that, you know, it's hard to really believe what you saw. So I understand why it happened, but as a reader, it's just not fun to go through. But whatever. We should be good now. I can't hear. Feels like something is crushing my eardrums. Slowly, the shattered pieces of the world reform. My body convulses as if struck by lightning. I am Okabe Rintaro. I'm in the lab development room, standing in front of the time leap machine with my phone to my ear. My brain hurts again. This isn't like a headache, somehow deeper. The pain causes a torrent of emotions, sorrow, longing, hope, joy, that threatens to wash away my psyche. However, only one thing matters. Quickly return to the lounge.
びっくりした。
I almost crashed into Kurisu.
脅かすなよ。
誰？今は13日の5時前か。
そうだけど。
Alright, time leap successful. I pat Kurisu on the shoulders, almost in an embrace.
お前は天才だ。
何よいきなり。気持ち悪いな。
I scramble for my phone.
トゥットゥルー、マユシーです。
マユリ、今どこに？
ただいま電話に出ることができません。
Went to voicemail?
いいってなったら伝言をどうぞ。
マユリ、今すぐ俺に連絡をくれ。分かったな。今すぐだ。
I hang up. I look at my watch again. It's just past 5. Thank God for the time leap machine. Makes you shiver to imagine what would have happened without it. I have 3 hours until Moeka kills my Yuri. Everything's going to be okay. There's plenty of time to escape. First, I'll meet up with my Yuri and leave Akiba. We can go to Ikebukuro. But what if they're watching our house? Maybe we should hop the bullet train and get out of Tokyo entirely. Anyway, we're fine as long as Moeka doesn't find her today. So first, I need to find my Yuri.
岡部？目が血走っちゃってるけど、どうしたの？
Kurisu and Dara look at me with concern.
二人とも今すぐここから離れろ。
どういうこと？
I check my wallet. I only have 9,000 yen and some change. I need to stop by an ATM and withdraw everything I have.
何よ、また中二病？
Kurisu shrugs her shoulders dumbfounded. I don't have time to answer her. I sit beside her and dash out of the lab.
岡部、どこ行くのよ？おい！
I run full speed to Yanabayashi Shrine. Naturally, I have to stop a breath before I get more than a few blocks. The sun is setting, but the temperature still hasn't dropped below 30. Sweat quickly covers my entire body. I'm not good at exercise in the first place. I finally stagger through the archway. Now I regret not borrowing Suzuha's bicycle. But no, there wasn't time for that in the first place. There wasn't time for that Finding Mayuri comes first. I run to the courtyard where I find Lukako staying alone with her bamboo sword. Broom.
ルカ子。
岡部さん。
Oh, give me 1 second, please. I'm not leaving, I just had to type out a message. There you go. She bows her head.
どうしたんです？
マユリはどこだ？
まゆりちゃんだったらもう帰りましたけど。
帰った。
はい。後でまゆりちゃんにごめんなさいって伝えてくれませんか？僕やっぱりどうしてもコスプレはできませんって断っちゃって。まゆりちゃんを悲しませたくはなかったんですけど、やっぱり人前に出るのは恥ずかしくて。
I finally catch my breath. I don't have time to listen to Lukako's apologies.
マユリは帰ったんだな。
はい。
That doesn't make sense. I know she comes to the lab around 6:30. It's still 5:30. No matter how slowly you walk, it shouldn't take more than 20 minutes to get to the lab. So what was she doing for the extra 40 minutes? We don't have time for this.
本当に帰ったのか？どこかへ寄るとは言っていなかったか？
いえ、聞いてませんけど。岡部さん、一体何が。
もしマユリがここに戻ってきたらすぐに俺に電話するように伝えるんだ。
はい。
I'd better check the lab. We might have missed each other. When I get back to the lab, nobody's there but Daru. They're curious to go shopping by herself. I call out to him as he's ordering pizza on the computer.
マユリは帰ってきてるか？
え、いや、
あいつどこへ？
I take a bottle of Dr. P out the fridge and chuck it down. The cold, sparkling liquid wets my parched throat and drives the heat away. Now I can think, but I still can't relax. Every minute, every second is precious. Every moment I waste brings me closer to Mayuri's death.
オカリンさ、さっきからなんでそんなピリピリしてるん？
マユリの居場所を知らないか？
だからルカシのところっしょ？
いなかった。帰った後だった。
I start to pace in
じ
irritation.
ゃあ他のレイヤー仲間のところとか。
そのレイヤー仲間の連絡先を教えろ。
いや、知らんし。
Damn. It's easy to forget since she's usually here, but Mayuri and I barely spend time together outside the lab. Maid Queen in the shrine, that's about it. I have no idea where else she might be. Or go. Maid Queen doesn't even exist on this world line.
ああ、そういえば
何か知っているのか？
携帯の電源が切れそうとか言ってたような気がする。
Yet another setback. Not only am I unable to contact her, she might not even notice my phone calls.
なあ、一体どうしたん？
誰？なぜここに残っている？今すぐラボを離れろと言ったはずだ。
I sit on the sofa. I feel the weight of stress on my shoulders and in my bones.
理由もなしにそんなこと言われてもわけわからんつうか。 一体何が始まるんですみたいな。
マユリが殺される。
は
セルンが本気を出してきたんだ。あと2時間で奴らは襲撃をかけてくる。だからお前は逃げろ。
え、マジ？
クリスと連絡を取れるか。あいつにもそう伝えるんだ。
あと2時間って、なんでオカリンはそれを知ってるわけよ。
Daru pauses for a moment. He looks towards the development room, where the time loop machine is sitting.
まさか使ったん？
I nod gravely. I kicked Daru out of the lab and sent him home. He promised to call Kurisu for me and tell her to stay at her hotel. But a few minutes later, she calls me directly and demands an explanation. It takes some effort, but I manage to convince her to do as I say. Now I just need to wait for Mayuri to get back. Thought about looking for her, but it's too risky. We'll convince each other like we did at the shrine, but it'll wait here in front of the building. While waiting, I try to convince myself that everything will be okay. Mayuri returns to the lab at 6:30. That leaves about an hour before Morika's attack. In an hour, we could ride the bullet train from Tokyo Station to Shizuoka. Or Shizuoka, there you go. Is that the best plan? Maybe we should get off at Yokohama and lay low in a hotel for a while. I can think about what comes next after Mayuri's saved. The tiling machine doesn't matter. Morika can have it. My top priority is to prevent Mayuri's death. Sweat accumulates on my forehead and rolls down my face. Hurry back, Mayuri.
あれ？
Startled, I turn towards the voice. Suzuha and Mr. Braun have emerged from the Braun Tube workshop. I see them lock the door. Guess they're closing up shop. That's right. Forgot about Suzuha.
岡部倫太郎、そこで何してんの？
いや、
That reminds me. During the attack, she took down 5 armed commandos in the blink of an eye. I still can't believe it. Where does an 18-year-old girl learn to move like that? And I noticed her strange behavior immediately before the attack. She left as soon as she heard about the bomb threat, almost as if she knew something was going to happen. And finally, there's that business with her father. Everything about her is a mystery. Who is Amane Suzuha?
あ、わかっちゃった。今日宴会やるらしいから、その準備でしょ？
それを誰から聞いた？
椎名真由里、さっき顔見せて、ぜひ来てねって言ってたよ。つうわけで、私もお邪魔することに。
ダメだ。
もしかして、私邪魔だった？
いや、
まあ、私もラボ面にしてもらったとはいえ、所詮は部外者だしね。
そうじゃなくてだな。
んだよ岡部、うちのバイトも仲間に入れてやれ。おめえはこいつに借りがあるんだろ。こいつのへそのおかげでおめえらがビル揺らすのも一応許してやったんだからな。
へそって、おーい。
Suzuha has recovered her jacket. She's properly dressed now.
このバイトなかなかいいへそだったぜ。腹回りがしっかり鍛えてあってキュッと引き締まってたな。
エロ親父、本人前にして語らないでよ。
今日の宴会は中止だ。だからバイト選手よ。悪いが今日は帰ってくれ。
中止なの？
ああ、すまない。
I attempt to smile, but with little hope of success.
岡部、何をしてんのかともかく、いざとなったら無茶だけはすんなよ。
It's weird to have him give me advice. Thought he was just a dirty old man who loves CRTs. Maybe he's sharper than I thought. Maybe he's just telling me to stop shaking the building.
マユリと喧嘩をしましてね。ちょっと参ってるんです。それだけですよ。
It's the best lie I can manage.
あ、じゃあまずいんじゃない？
Blood?
だってほら、あそこに
Suzuha points across the street. Yeah, that's the face of a person who just got in a fight. All right. I turn up. Whoa. Calm me. Relax. I turn to look. To my surprise, there's Mayuri walking up the street with a big bag. When she notices us, she waves her hand with a ditzy smile. Mayuri!
あれ喧嘩したんじゃないの？すごい笑顔だけど。
I ignore Suzuha and run to Mayuri. The clock on my phone says 6:33.
ちょっとどうしたのよ。
I wasted precious time talking to Suzuha. Now that I secured Mayuri, we need to get as far away from Akiba as we can.
オカリン、そんなに急いでどこ行くの？
I ignore her question and grab her hand.
走れ、駅に行く。
待って、荷物が。
構うな。とにかく走るのだ。
なんで？
いいから走ってくれ。
I can't get the image of Mayuri's death out of my mind. I won't let them kill her. I won't. Mayuri gives no further resistance. She follows obediently, quickly matching my pace. I forget that she's faster on her feet than I am.
ねえ、どこ行くの？
そうだな。とりあえずつくばが横浜あたりに。
I'm already gasping for air. Mayuri, however, might as well be strolling along for the difficulty she's having. For all the difficulty she's having. How could she be so dizzy yet so athletic at the same time? I remember this well. The sun is already set, but the sky is still a mix of indigo and orange. We run through the streets lit by dazzling shops. Everything will be fine once you make it on the train. I will just start in mind as we run. I'm already exhausted. Mayuri practically has to drag me along to keep going.
少しね、休んだ方がいいんじゃないかな。
いや、電車に乗るまでは走り続けろ。
I do my best to keep up the pace.
でもね、オカリンすごい汗だよ。運動苦手なのにね、無理すると。
When we reach the station, I realize that something's wrong. The station is packed, seriously packed. You don't see this many people even at rush hour. The crowd is milling around the entrance. For some reason, it looks like no one's going in. What's going on here? A protest? Some kind of street performance? I don't have time for this. Just then, an announcement plays over the PA.
現在山手線、京浜東北線、総武線すべて運転を見合わせております。お急ぎのお客様には大変ご迷惑をおかけしておりますが、何卒ご理解のほど。
Finally, I realized my mistake. That's right. Before the attack, the trains were stopped by a bomb threat. No wonder there were so many people standing around. In my haste to flee the city, I completely forgot. How could I have been so stupid?
どうしたんだろうね。
All the train lines are stopped. We can't escape Akiba. What about the other means of public transportation? The subway or the bus? Should we go to another station? Turn around and head back the way we came, keeping a firm grip on Mayuri's hand. Before we get more than a few steps, a man steps out of the crowd and blocks our way. I realize that we're surrounded.
岡部倫太郎だな。
A low voice. A face I've never seen. He's not one of the 5 who broke into the lab.
オカリン、この人たち知り合い？
Mayuri grasps my arm tightly as she looks anxiously at the man.
一緒に来てもらおうか。
誰だ？
Instead of answering, the man makes a grab for my arm. I jerk away and try to escape, but the man moves to block us again.
抵抗するなら殺す。
セルンか？
They're with Moeka? She must have planned for this in advance. A chill runs up my spine. We made a terrible mistake when we hacked into CERN. I realize that now, though it's far too late.
これだけ大勢の人がいる中で殺せるのか。
冗談だと思わない方がいい。
I feel something cold against my back. I don't realize what it is at first. Then it hits me. A gun. I gulp. My blood goes cold. Am I going to die here? Will my time leaping be for naught? No, I can't give up. I won't let my Yuri die. I won't accept that future. But how do I get out of this? The crowd at the station has grown even thicker. People are starting to argue with the station personnel, demanding to know where they can go home. The situation is quickly becoming chaotic. Suddenly, a fight breaks out nearby. Looks like some people are trying to shove their way through. This could be our chance. A tide of people surges into us, knocking the men behind me off balance. Now! I quickly turn and strike the man's hand aside. His gun falls away. Then the man gets swallowed by the crowd.
マユリ、逃げるぞ。
I grab my Yuri's hand and start running. We have to fight our way through the crowd, but that also thwarts our pursuers. As soon as we reach the main street, we start running back towards the lab. Of course, we can't run to the lab itself. Monika's group will be there surely. We're still running. If we can get on Suehirocho. Suehirocho. Hold on, I gotta auto. There you go. I gotta stop that because I'm gonna try to figure out how do you pronounce that. Suehirocho. Yeah, Suehirocho Station. We can take the Ginza line to Shibuya. From there, we can grab a train heading out of Tokyo. Oh, hold on, I didn't see what that one said. I still haven't recovered from my exhaustion. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. We can't stop now, and I have to keep running. I don't know. It doesn't take long before a new obstacle appears. 4 men walking toward it, or together up ahead suddenly stop and turn to face us. I got a bad feeling about this. They didn't look like otaku, or they was CERN, too. My fears are confirmed when the 4 men start walking towards us, arms spread to block the street. No doubt about it, they're after us too. I turn to flee back towards the station, and there I see the first group of men closing in behind us. We're trapped, enemies on both sides. There's only one choice. I grab my area and make for the nearby side street. Oh man.
おかえり。どこに行くの？
I'm trying to get to Suehirocho Station without using the main streets. But as we pass UPX, several men on the bridge point at us and start shouting. Are they with CERN too? How many men do they have? We turn back and change course.
いいか、マユリ、お前の方が足が速いから。
Talking or running uses up all my breath. Sweat drips into my eyes, making it hard to
お
see.
前だけでも逃げろ。はぐれたら袋の岸文字に行け。そこで。
Before I finish, I catch sight of another group of men waiting for us up ahead.
どうなって。
I look back. The group from before is chasing us. We're surrounded by enemies. The familiar streets of Akiba are filled with agents of CERN. I recall what Monica said.
あなたたちに逃げ場はないわ。私たちの仲間はすでに秋葉原中に散らばっている。
Despair seizes my heart. Is escape impossible? We're just kids playing at science in the safety of our tiny little lab. Our enemy is a multinational conspiracy willing to kill anyone who gets in their way. Were we doomed from the start? No. No matter what, we must get away. Leading my Yuri by the hand, I push my way through the crowd, then jump the fence onto the road. Something strikes me with crushing force. sending me tumbling across the pavement. I came to a stop several meters away. My body is racked with intense pain. A red curtain covers my eyes. I try to brush it off and my hand comes away slick with blood. I grit my teeth against the pain and lift my head. Mayuri is lying on the pavement a few meters away. I reach out to her. No response. Mayuri's motionless. No. Did the impact kill her? This can't be happening. The car that ran us over, a white van, pulls up. The door opens, and out steps
動きは止めたわ。
Kiryu Moeka. Her again. She knew the exact moment to be here in order to run over poor
岡部
Mayuri.
君。いえ、岡部倫太郎が確保。
She's talking to someone on her phone. She's been tracking us this whole time.
警察に連絡して。椎名真由里が死んだ。
She looks down at me with eyes cold enough to freeze my blood.
殺すんだ。
あなたが逃げるからよ。
Mustering my strength, I leap up and throw myself on Moeka. She goes down hard. I hear her head smack against the pavement. I stand up and look around. Moeka is dazed and unable to stand. I see certain agents making their way towards us through the crowd. I gotta get out of here. I take a step. A sharp pain stabs through my body. The crash must have broken a bone in my leg. It doesn't matter. I have to get to the lab in time to begin. It's the only way to save Mayuri. I look back at the site of the accident. Moeka is slowly regaining her feet. Mayuri remains limp and motionless on the ground. It breaks my heart to leave Mayuri lying there, but I have no choice. I have to go. Back to the lab. Fighting the pain in my broken leg, I managed to drag myself back to the lab. Surprisingly, Steins' men didn't chase me. Nobody's at the lab when I arrive. Only the lights are still on. Relieved that Kurisu and Dara haven't returned, I head straight to the development room. I remember to break into the Brown Tube workshop to turn on the 42-inch CRT. My body is drenched in sweat, and I can't stop shivering. Everything hurts, especially my right side, where the car hit me. If I'm not careful, I might lose consciousness. My vision is blurry. It's hard to focus. My left arm is numb and can barely move. But still, I force myself to activate the X68000 and put the settings. I'm gasping for breath like a wounded animal. The sound of my heartbeat fills my ears. Mayuri. They killed her again. I failed to protect her. I'm sorry, Mayuri. I'm sorry. Choking back my tears, I frantically pound on the keyboard. Police sirens echo in the distance. Moeka hit Mayuri in front of hundreds of witnesses. They'll probably take her in for questioning. Even if Saren bears her out somehow, she should be stuck for at least a couple of hours. The real problem is her men. Those mercenaries or whatever they were. Saren's hit squad. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Let's stop you for now. There you go. Why didn't they come after me? Should have been easy for them to catch me. Injured as I am. I need to hurry. If they show up here, they'll kill me for sure. Settings complete. I'll put on the headgear. I put on the headgear. I get blood on it, but that doesn't matter. A surge of anxiety washes over me. What if this time loop fails? What if my memories are corrupted? I might forget who I am. I might lose myself. Should I really use the machine?
当たり前だ。
Curse my weakness.
マユリが死んだんだぞ。
This can't be allowed to happen. No risk is too great. I will save my Yuri, whatever it takes. I alone have the power to change the past. What am I waiting for? Swallowing my fear, I activate the time loop machine. This is also like, why not just go back even further? Like, he went back to 2 o'clock, but like, oh, whoa. There you go. Like, this is a question that I have even to this day. Like, why not just go back further the first time? Or not even the first time. Why not go back further after this experience that like, oh, Moeka ran her over. Why not go back further? But you know how it is. Okabe isn't the smartest. A screeching in my ears, needles stabbing into my brain, 1,000 emotions flooding my senses. The world bends, pulses, then returns to normal. The pain of my wounds has vanished like magic, replaced by a piercing pain in my brain. I fight back a wave of nausea and take stock of the situation. I'm sitting on a sofa with my phone in my ear. Another successful time leap. That makes 3. Looks like the time leap machine works perfectly. I'm sure it would boost Kurisu's confidence if I told her that I had to wait until my Yuri's out of danger. I stand up and look around the lab. Kurisu, who is dozing off next to me, wakes up with a jerk at the sound of my voice.
大声出さないでよ。徹夜明けなんだから少し休ませろ。
マユリはどうだ。
いきなりなんぞ。マユシならルカシのところ行くって言ってたじゃん。
Damn, she already left? Should call or send a mail. I need to get in touch with her somehow. Mayuri went to see someone after leaving the shrine. The question is who? Think. Consider every possibility. Damn, why did I forget? Before I time leaped, I should have asked Mayuri where she was today. Not thinking straight. I have to calm down. Wait, I know. Last time we failed because we went to Akihabara Station. Should have known that Sir would be watching. This time I'll take a taxi to another station and hide somewhere until things calm down. For now, all I can do is wait for Mayuri to return. It's driving me crazy. Consider explaining the situation to Daru and Kurisu. I just don't have the strength to do that right now. Besides, I don't want them to get involved. I'll take care of it myself. Won't let any more of my friends die. As before, the Brontu workshop closes early. Mayuri reappears as Suzuha and Mr. Brown are leaving. We run through Kondo Myojin's back streets to Ochanomizu Station, taking only minimal precautions to avoid attracting attention. We have to get there before the Sobu line shuts down. Managed to make it to the station without being stopped. When we get there, I see a group of men waiting by the entrance. They look like CERN. Change of plans. We turn around and head for Shin Ochanomizu subway station. We arrived at the station later than I intended. I don't usually come here, so I got lost. I stare nervously at the platform clock. According to a scrolling display, the Yamanote, Keihin-to... Good lord, I can't talk today. The Yamanote, Keihin-Tohoku, and Sobu lines have already suspended operations. Wait, looks like the Shiota line has too. Must be protocol to assume that nearby stations may be threatened, even stations on unconnected lines. Damn! Mayuri hasn't said a word about my strange behavior. This is the 3rd time I've led her on this escape, but each time she follows me without complaint. Does she really trust me that much? Maybe she can feel my desperation. That's why I want so badly to save her. We've been together for more than a decade. She's like a little sister to me. I'll leap as many times as it takes. Mayuri tilts her head quizzically. I realize that I'm staring at her.
あのねオカリ、マユシーは聞きたいこといっぱいあるけど今は我慢しとくね。その代わり終わったらね全部聞かせてほしいです。
ああ、約束する。
Mayuri smiles happily at that answer. That's right. We wait for the train. I should ask Mayuri about her whereabouts today. If I have to leap again, I'll need all the information I can get.
お前、ルカ子に会った後はどこに行っていた？
吹雪ちゃんからメールがあってね、マユシーのコスにちょっと問題発生しちゃってたのです。糸がほつれてるところがあったんだ。それを直しに。
吹雪ちゃんというのはどこに住んでいる？
住んでるっていうかね、今ちょうど UPX のスタベまで来てたのです。
So that's where she was. Just then, an announcement plays over the PA system. The subway's resuming normal operations. About 20 minutes have passed since we arrived. I didn't expect to be stuck here that long, but it's okay. Right now, Moeka should be in Akihabara, heading to the lab. Everything is going to be alright. While waiting for the train, I examined the route map on the station's notice board. We can transfer to an overland train at Yodogi Uehara. It'll take a while, but that'll take us all the way to Odawara. Another announcement. Our train is arriving. I can hear the rumbling and see the lights at the end of the tunnel. Mayuri and I are standing just behind the white line. I reach for her hand. I mean to take a dash for the train when the doors open. But I guess there's no hurry now. I'll let my hand fall to my side. Empty. The world comes closer.
今日のパーティー。
Mayuri's saying something. Can't quite hear her over the train.
中止になったけど絶対にいつか。まゆりお姉ちゃん。
Suddenly, Mayuri disappears. There she is, leaning out over the tracks. She's off balance, as if she stumbled, or someone pushed her. She seems to hang there for a moment, and the train comes screaming into the station. Ew. I hear a sound from under the train. I can't describe it, but it makes me instantly nauseous. Sparks fly as the train slams on its brakes. The people on the platform scream. I turn to where Mayuri was just a moment ago. There stands a familiar girl. Tiny, adorable, a cute black rabbit pouch slung over her shoulder. Tenoshi Nai. She looks up at me. Her eyes are wide. Her lips tremble.
私、まゆりお姉ちゃん見つけてびっくりさせたってわざとじゃわざと
She stares at me for a few more seconds, as if waiting for me to say something, then turns away and runs. The platform is in chaos. The PA informs us that there's been a personal injury accident. Nai's already gone. I don't go after her. Instead, I peek timidly through the gap between the train and the platform. One side of the track is awash of wreck. My mind is blank. I can't think. I don't even remember how I got back to the lab. Moeka's group should have come and gone, but the timely machine is still here. I guess I should be grateful. There's another one. That's death number 3. Death number 4. Takes longer than usual to set up the machine. For some reason, I have trouble recalling my own phone number. At last, it's ready. Now, take me back. $3:45. The leap occurs instantaneously. Tighter claim that his time machine takes 1 hour of subjective time to travel 10 years. I don't know if ours has the same behavior, but now is not the time to find out. 10 years. I have no business that far back. Besides, according to Currency, time leaping too far into the past could cause mental disorders due to the gap between personality and memory.
Juicy karage #1.
Mayuri's singing her chicken song, though she's actually eating pre-cooked chicken from the convenience store instead of her usual juicy chicken #1. She had to switch because she can't warm up frozen chicken in the microwave, which is now a dedicated part of the time leap machine. I was right to come back 5 hours. Mayuri's still in the lab. What the hell happened back there? It hurts, but I forced myself to recall that horrifying scene. Mayuri died again. This time it happened at Shin Ochenomizu Station, a place completely unrelated to the lab or a bomb threat. Tenoji and I pushed her onto the tracks where the train tore her to shreds. Could Nai be working for CERN too? No, that can't be right. Nai has a habit of jumping on Mayuri and greeting. She was probably just being her usual affectionate self. But why did she choose that precise moment? I don't know. I sense malice. Whose malice? It's like fate is playing a cruel joke on us. Whatever that caused, all that matters now is that I have another chance. I need to act. I have the power to save Mayuri. I will do whatever it takes to find a way. This time we hail a taxi on a Shuadori. It'll be expensive, but that hardly matters now. Mayuri comes along quietly. I consider taking her home to Ikebukuro, but Morika's group might be watching her house. I have no idea where they are at this point in time. Instead, I asked the driver to take us to Shinagawa. However, the traffic is unusually heavy. The driver says it's never been this bad before. There must have been an obstruction ahead on it, or an accident or something. It's the only explanation I can think of. We made it out of Akiba, but at this rate it will take forever to get to Shinagawa. I consider getting off here and taking the train. Then I remember what happened at Ochenomizu Station. I have a bad feeling about this. The traffic jam could be CERN's doing. I look at the window and scan the crowd for anyone who might be a CERN agent. 3 hours later, we're still stuck. According to a conversation I overheard between our driver and another driver, there's some kind of inspection up ahead. Furthermore, it doesn't seem to be a police inspection, and a small fight broke out at the inspection site or something. To make matters worse, this road has already been closed off, and other cars behind us are being detoured. Only about 100 cars waiting, but the inspection has been at a standstill for 3 hours. This can't be a coincidence. Once again, I feel malice of fate manipulating the situation. Is Mayuri going to die again? If I known it was going to turn out like this, I have ditched the taxi hours ago. It's not too late. I should pay the driver and get off right. Just then, someone knocks on the window. Our taxi stopped in the middle of the road. What's going on? I look over. Before I can say anything, the man opens the rear door and gets in next to Mayuri. He's holding a knife. Another assassin. Before she can reply, the man covers Mayuri's mouth with a large, meaty hand. I try to open my door, but it's locked. Only the driver can open it from inside. Mayuri opens her eyes wide. Her body twitches. It all happens too fast. The man sticks his knife into Mayuri's chest. A bright red spot stains her clothes. One of the men gets into the passenger seat. He points again at the driver and says something to him. Strength drains from Mayuri's body. Her eyes slowly close. A tear rolls down her cheek. I watch her die inches away, powerless to stop it. I can feel her last breath against my skin. They killed her again. Why? Why? Why can't I save her? Why won't you let me save her? Who decided that Mayuri must die? Moeka? CERN? Or does the world itself wish for Mayuri's death? I won't accept that. I clench my jaw and throw myself forward, driving my forehead into the killer's nose. He falls back. I shout to the driver. I crawl out the taxi and take off running through the traffic jam. After running for hours, I make it back to the lab. Luckily, the time leap machine is still there. I have to leap again. Every time you run, Mayuri dies. 6 hours into the past, I clutch my head and rack my brain for an answer. I feel like I've hit a dead end. What do I do if you can't run away? Is there no way to save
無理
me?
なものか。絶対に助けてやる。
何のこと？
Mayuri blankly stare. Mayuri's blank stare is the only answer I got. This time I take... Man. So, Mayuri's passed away five times now. First time, the repeat... Oh, whoa. Stop. What was it? First time, dream, train station, not train station, yeah, train station, subway line, and now the taxi. This one's number 6. This time I take her to the closest police station and beg them to protect her. When asked why, I explain that someone's gonna kill Mayuri 6 hours from now. But without any proof that there's someone after her, they have no choice but to turn us away. It's past 6 by the time we leave the station. And we're left with no choice but to keep running. I wish that I could blame my previous failures on bad luck. We could try Oshinomizu or Shinbashi again. Maybe this time she won't die. But I don't have the courage to try those routes again. At the same time, we can't stay in Akiba. We're running out of options. Subways, trains, and taxis, all out. Attempting escape by those means will get Mayuri killed, so my heart tells me. Perhaps the fear is irrational, but I can't put it out of my mind. I've seen her die half a dozen times already. Shot, stabbed, torn to pieces. I can't go through that again. We take refuge in Yodobayashi Camera. I thought we could keep hiding there indefinitely, but just after 7 we hear an explosion in front of the station. Yodobayashi goes into chaos. Policemen appear and start evacuating the store. While I try to explain our situation, an officer shouts terrorist and pulls his gun. This can't be happening. This isn't America. Japanese police officers don't shoot without provocation. Mayuri dies. It happens so fast. The policeman shoots her right in the head. I don't know if he's a real policeman or an assassin in disguise. Doesn't matter. Can't deny it any longer. The world itself is killing Mayuri. This time, I don't leap into action immediately. Instead, I sit on the couch and collect my thoughts. Every time I try to save Mayuri, it ends in the worst possible way. To make matters worse, I no longer even know what I'm supposed to be saving her from. Cause and effect. How does Mayuri die? At first, I thought it was Monica and her Hishkar, helped by CERN to steal our time machine. But as I leapt back in time again and again, the cause of Mayuri's death keeps changing. At Shin Ochinomizu Station, she died because Nai pushed her off the platform. CERN had nothing to do with that. It was an accident. Each time I leap, she dies a different way. What does that mean? I've been thinking for an hour, but I'm no closer to an answer. I want someone to tell me, but who can I ask? I'm the only person in history to leap through time. No, there's one more. John Tiger. But he's not replying to my emails anymore. He hasn't posted on @channel in days. I'm not even convinced he's a real time traveler. I decide not to run this time. Instead, I take a different approach. Strike first. I send Moeka an email. I need to talk to you about our time machine. Meet me alone. I designate the roof of Radican as our meeting place. 2 weeks have passed since the satellite crashed, but it's still there, and the building's still closed. At least the security is lessened, so it's easy for me to sneak in. After there's any sneaking to do, I just walk in through the front door like I belong here. No one questions me. Last time I came here was for Dr. Wakabachi's presentation. Of course, on this world line, that presentation was cancelled. Naturally, there's nobody here but me. It occurs to me that this dangerous gambit, Moeka might have a gun. And I already know she's going to use it. Or that this is a dangerous gambit. There you go. But then I don't intend to play fair either. Good lord, wow. Let me stop this. We're supposed to meet at 5:30. It's just after 5. Where? 20, 24, 23, 22, 21. There you go. 2009. August. No, excuse me, sorry. Wrong year. 2010. There you go. Uh, 2010, August 2010. Yep. Wow, that's crazy, yeah. No. August 13th was a Friday. And to top it off, the 27th of, it has been 2 weeks. If you're probably wondering why I checked this, because I was just interested, that's all it was. I came early in order to ambush her. I hide in the shadows and with bated breath. About 30 minutes later, I hear the door open. Moeka makes her entrance, alone. She looks around restlessly. She still hasn't noticed me. I take a gun out of my shirt. It's not real. It's Future Gadget number 1, the bit particle gun. It's just a toy ray gun with a remote control attached. Obviously a bluff, but all I could prepare on such short notice. I ran up behind Moeka and shoved the bit particle gun into her back. Just like a Hollywood movie. But this isn't a movie. This is real. And she isn't an actress. She's a murderer. After Moeka raises her hands, I feel through her clothes. Sure enough, she's carrying a gun. I take it from her and press it to Moeka's back in place of the bit particle gun.
残念だったな。最初の銃はおもちゃだ。話を聞きたい。お前がセルンの死角であることは分かっている。
なぜ？
知りたいのか。知りたいのかよ。
Okay. My frustration and rage boil over because of her. Because of her, my Yuri.
俺はタイムマシンで未来から来た。冗談だと思っているのか。だが俺はすでに 4,5 回は同じ時間を繰り返してきた。
I lost count how many times exactly. and I haven't slept at all. Or I haven't slept at all that entire time. Strangely, I'm not tired at all. Granted, it makes sense why I'm not.
これからお前たちが何をするかも知っている。7時過ぎに電車が止まる。爆破予告のせいでな。
Moeka gasps. So it was their doing.
お前と仲間たちが今日ラボを襲撃することも知っている。そこでお前がマユリを殺すこともだ。
私が
理解したか。俺がタイムリーパーだと。
Moeka nods faintly. I could kill her now. It would be that easy. But no, I need information.
お前たちはセルンの何なんだ。
ラウンダー
Moeka answers with surprising obedience. I guess she values her own life, even though she has no problem depriving people of others.
ラウンダー
Is he?
一体どういう組織なんだ。セルンとの関係性は。
I meant to say, even though she has no problem depriving other people of theirs. There you go.
メールで
ダメだ。口頭で説明しろ。
ラウンダーはセルンとは別組織。公には出てこない。そういう扱い。
秘密の傭兵部隊か。
違う。IBN5100。その情報収集と回収のため世界中に散らばってそれを集める。
IBM 5100s. That's right. When I met her, she was looking for an IBM 5100. These days, they're nearly impossible to find. People will pay millions just to own one. Is that because CERN has been hunting them down?
ラウンダーの規模は。答えろ。
知らない。まただから。
So she's not poor enough to be told.
俺が手に入れた IBN5100 を盗んだのもやはりお前だな。
Moeka doesn't answer.
なぜ IBN5100 の情報を。ハッキング対策か。
機密保持。最も優先すべき事項だから。セルン。
一体何が隠されている。タイムトラベルの人体実験やその実験で何百人と殺しているという情報は普通の PC でもハッキングで見ることができた。 IBN5100 で構築されたデータベースにはそれ以上の極秘情報があるというのか。
知らない。
末端だからか。
My tone is sarcastic, but Moeka nods. Damn, she's useless.
なぜラボを襲った。いやお前にとってはこれから襲うか。
分かっているはず。
セルにのハッキングをしたからか。
理由は3つ。1つは知ったから。君たちが知ってはいけないこと。
So CERN did know about the hacking.
それとタイムマシン。君たちが作った。
They want our time machine. CERN must be trying to monopolize time travel technology.
決定的だったのは君たちがそのタイムマシンを世間に公表しようとしたこと。
How does she know that? We made a decision right after the time machine was completed. That was only a few hours ago.
だから全員を拘束。
拘束。マユリを殺したではないか。
あの子は必要ない。
Unnecessary. I nearly pulled the
タイ
trigger.
ムマシンを作ったのは君とマキセと橋田だから。あの子は殺しても構わない。そう 言われた。
俺たちを拘束してどうするつもりだった？
セルンの施設に監禁してタイムマシン実用化の研究を。
そうやってこれまでにもセルン以外のタイムマシン研究を潰してきたんじゃないか。
私は回収しろと言われただけ。
お前のことを一瞬でも仲間にした俺が間違いだった。
セルンのため、すべて FP の命令、すべて何でもやる。 FP の指示に。
FB? Is that the name of her supervisor?
岡部君、君なの？ジョン・タイターは。
何？
John Tyler.
考えられない。君しか。
Me.
何をバカな。
I did the gun into Molika's back.
それより死にたくなかったら今すぐにお前の仲間とそれと FB とやらに連絡しろ。ラボ襲撃は中止だと。
Molika shakes her head.
そんな権限ない。
知ったことか。権限がなかろうが何とかするんだ。でないと殺す。
I can't do it. I'm not a killer. My hands are trembling, just like Molika's were before she shot my ear.
殺したんだ。
She was hesitating. She didn't want to pull the trigger, but she did.
お前もあんなことしたくなかったんだろう。なのになんで。
私は従うだけ。 FB に。
だったらその FB とかいうやつをここに連れてこい。
Molika shakes her head again.
だからそっちの事情なんて知ったことじゃないと。
無理なの。 FB に会ったことは。
Something hard stabs into my back. A chill runs through my body. Someone behind me.
銃を捨てろ。
A man's voice. Is he with Molika?
あいつのキリュウ萌えか。
I'm ready to pull the trigger in cold blood.
二人だけで会うと約束しただろう。
Molika doesn't answer.
いいから銃を捨てろ。
タイムマシンは渡せ。だから誰も殺すな。
だとしても。
Even though I'm still pointing the gun at her, Molika steps away and turns to face me. Her eyes are cold, her expression
監
unreadable.
禁して二度と出されない。
Molika takes the gun from my hand. I'm unable to resist.
ハッキングのことを謝るから誰も殺さないでくれ。
Something strikes the back of my head. My lips give out instantly, sending me to the ground. Darkness creeps
ターゲ
in.
ット B を確保。開始を頼む。
Deep down, I knew I can't save my Yuri. Even if Molika's group doesn't kill her, someone or something else will. The world itself wants her dead. That is the choice of Steins Gate. Steins Gate? There's no such thing. These words have no meaning. It's just some nonsense I made up to sound cool. Steins Gate doesn't exist, but fate does. Fate, God, the will of the universe, an absolute force that no one can resist. It exists, and it has sentenced my Yuri to death. I wake up in the back of a station wagon. The windows are coated with black film, so I can't tell where we are. I feel like throbbing pain in the back of my head. My hands are tied behind me. What time is it? How long have I been unconscious? I recognize him from a previous time loop. He's the one who stabbed my Yuri in the taxi. Oh, whoa, let me stop actually. Auto. Let me see. What did I miss? Backlog. Alright, how long have I been unconscious? Or how long have I been unconscious? There's a man with me inside the car. I recognize him from a previous time leap. He's the one who stabbed my Yuri in the taxi. The man seems to notice I've woken up, but he doesn't speak. He just waves his gun menacingly as if to say that there's no hope of escape. Dashboard clock reached 7:30. I look out the window again. Through the film I managed to make out a street sign. We're close to the lab. Has the attack already happened? Before I left I told everyone, including my Yuri, to run. She did as I said, she won't die by their hands. But that doesn't mean she's safe. If I don't do something, Moika's gonna take the time leap machine away. What will happen then? Stern will have the machine. Or Stern can have the machine, if it'll save my Yuri. The problem is that it won't. Not even when the world itself is determined to kill her. As long as the time leap machine remains in my hands, I can keep trying to fix things. I'll leap again and again until I find a way to save her. But if I lose the machine, then the future's decided. A future without my Yuri. I have to get it before they do. Even if that means I might get shot. As long as I survive to reach the time leap machine, everything will be alright. My bound hands limit me to headbutts and kicks, but I somehow managed to knock down the man guarding me and escape. My chest and neck are covered up with blood. Must have been shot during the struggle, but thanks to the adrenaline pumping through my body, I barely feel any pain. I can still move, that's all that matters. I run up the stairs with my hands still tied. I can only pray that I'll be able to operate the time machine quick enough. My Yuri, Kurisu, and Daru are in the lab. So are Mulika and her men. When I open the door and burst in, everyone looks at me in surprise. When she sees my tattered body, Mayuri runs up to me with tears in her eyes. Wait! I try to stop her. In the corner of my eye, I see Mulika take aim on Mayuri. I try to put myself between them. I try to cover Mayuri with my body. But a man grabs me from behind and pulls me back. I watch, helpless as Mayuri's tiny body drops to the floor. Her eyes wide and wet with tears seem to stare into mine. But I can see that they've already lost their light. She's gone. Again. What happens next is the same as before. Suzuha defeats the Rounders and Kurisu helps me time leap. A flood of sound beats on my eardrums. When it subsides, I find myself again in the lab. It's just before 5. I have 2.5 hours before my Yuri dies. I found myself staring at the time leap machine. This thing is the reason for Moika's attack. If only we had never built the phone wave. If only we had never sent those D-mails. Perhaps the future might be different, instead of the nightmare it promises now. Would anything change if I broke it? Just smashed it to pieces right here. In a rush of delirium, I grab a chair and lift it high over my head. Just as I'm about to bring it crashing down on this infernal machine, a voice cries out.
Okabe, nani shitten no yo?
Kurisu grabs my arm and pulls me back.
Ima, kowasou to shita? Nani mo kowasanakuってタイムリープはしない。そう決めたんだから、それでいいでしょ。とにかく椅子を下ろして。
I lower the chair slowly. Not because Kurisu told me to, because I realized what would happen if I did break the machine. There you go. It caused, or will cause, Mayuri's death, but at the same time it's my only chance of reverting that future. If I lose it, I lose my only hope of saving her. The fear of the outcome stayed my hand.
顔色悪いな。どうしたのよ。 聞いてんの？
I can't deal with this. Not now.
ちょっと
I flee from the lab. I don't have a particular destination in mind. People look at me strangely as I shuffle down the street. I imagine I must look like I crawled up from a grave. Soon I get fed up with the crowd around around the station and escape to the pedestrian overpass. There you go. Okay. I get up about halfway across the bridge and squat down on the concrete. The giant screen in the UPX building is advertising some gothic punk band. The ticker at the bottom displays today's weather forecast along with the date and time. I realize that today is Friday the 13th. Is there no way to get through today without my Mayuri dying? It's already 5:30. 2 hours until the attack. The lights around the Kiyobara station turn on one by one as the sun sets. Let me stop there. The mall might be going from Akiba, but the area around the station is still as posh as ever. Double on here. The bridge I'm sitting on has become a date spot for couples. I see them standing here and there, gazing at the cityscape with their arms wound around each other. Somehow they never seem to tire of the dull, unchanging scenery. What
そこの
the
地べた
heck?
に座ってるドキュン男。
I humbly disagree. What is it? Yeah, there you go. What am I doing here? My ear's about to die. This is it's actually one of my favorite CGs. Oh man.
何よ。
Whoa. Golly, that's the wrong thing, man. Well, if my head and see Curse standing there.
いきなり飛び出したと思ったらこんなところにいたか。
なあ
Okay, I'm sorry.
なあクリスティーナ、今何時だ？
5時38分。ねえ、そんなところでドキュン行為してる暇があったら買い出し付き合いなさいよ。
Shopping. Alright. Preparations for the party. In the original timeline, I went shopping with Curse at the UPX supermarket. And then we talked on the bridge, just like now. Feels like so long ago. Back then, I had no idea what was about to happen.
どうなの？買い出し来るのか来ないのか。
I sighed deeply. I don't believe that it was wrong to time me. However,
クリス、
I keep my eyes lowered.
初めてまともに名前呼んだな。
I feel her eyes on me.
助けてくれ。
Can't save my area alone. I realize that now. Reliving today again and again, only to taste the same despair each time, has taught me one important lesson. Alone, I am powerless. Alone, I have no hope.
助けてくれ。
話して。あんたがタイムリープしたのは分かってる。
何？
I look up in surprise. Curse doesn't meet my stare. Instead, she leans on a guardrail and gazes down at the plaza with her usual frown.
あんたに誰かから電話がかかってきたと思ったらいきなり表変したから。私の目はごまかせない。
3時間後から来た。
何があった？
マユリが 殺された。
I lower my head, trying to hold back the tears. And I explain about Saren and Moeka, and about how Kurisu herself activated the timing machine and made this possible. Tell her about my previous sleeps. I explain that the world itself wants Mayuri dead, but I can't save her no matter how much I try. Keep talking for 30 minutes straight. During that time, Kurisu hardly says a word.
すべて俺の責任だ。
Talking to Kurisu lets me sort out everything I've done, everything I've seen.
セルンにハッキングしろなんてダルに頼まなければよかった。タイムマシンを作ろうなんて言い出さなければよかった。萌香をラボメンになんかするんじゃなかった。マユリが死ぬのはすべて俺の責任なんだ。
That's why I needed to bear the burden myself. I was resolved to do whatever it took to save Mayuri, never faltering, never giving up. And yet, my resolve is already crumbled.
そんなまずいことが起きようとしてるのに、あんたはなんでここでぼんやりしてるの？
Kurisu's tone is haughty. Is that how I sound when I'm playing Holy Kyoma?
わからなくなったからだ。
わからないって何が？
マユリを助ける方法が。
あんたの話を聞いた限りじゃ、時間順序保護仮説は本当だったってことになるのか
な。何をしてもどうやってもマユリが死んでしまうんだ。
だからタイムリープを延々と繰り返したか。タイムリープマシンは理論上絶対安全だと証明されているわけじゃない。
Kurisu lowers her gaze and cups her chin, as she often does when assessing a problem.
これまでは何事もなく成功してたかもしれないけど、繰り返し使うことでどんな影響が出るかもわからない。もしかしたら時間の輪、つまり因果率から外れるかもしれない。あんたはそんな危険を冒してるの。そのことを自覚して。
因果率から外れると。
SF 小説によくあるでしょ。閉じた時間の輪の中で永遠にさまよい続けるってこと。永久に年は取らないけど、永久に同じ日からは出られなくなる。最悪の場合、なかったことにされる可能性だってある。存在の抹消。あんたの18年だか19年だかの人生の痕跡すべてをあらゆる人間が最初から知らなかったことにされるかも。時間を飛び越えることはそれだけ危険なのよ。
人間は根源的に時間的存在者である。
Kurisu looks surprised.
ハイデガーね。私も今その言葉を言おうと思ってた。
お前から教わった言葉だ。
いつ？
俺はもう何度もタイムリープしている。
あ、なるほど。
Kurisu squats next to me, thinking deep.
あんたの話が本当だったとして、マユリを助けたい気持ちは私だって同じよ。でもタイムリープマシン制作に関わった人間の一人として、あれを何度も使うことは勧められない。あんたはそれでももがく。
俺は
Can't do it alone. I know that now.
だからお前に助けを求めたんだ。もがくために、マユリを助けるために。俺一人じゃダメだったが、クリスの協力があれば何とかできるかもしれない。できると信じたい。力を貸してくれ。
Kurisu sighs.
無茶しやがってバカ。あんた壊れててもおかしくなかったんだからね。
Incredibly, she sounds concerned about me. She looks at me for a moment and turns away as if embarrassed.
協力はする。ただしあんたのために協力するわけじゃないから。
It's for
全部
Mayuri.
マユリのためよ。
Uh-huh.
ああ、当たり前だ。
それにあんたを被験者にすればいいデータが取れそうだし。
Man,
それはつまり
she loves him, bro.
セルンの人体実験を肯定するということか。
全然違う。
どこが？
被験者が岡部っていうところがマッドサイエンティストとしては自分自身も平気で実験台にするんでしょ。何せマットだし。
そうだな。
No longer afraid to time leap. I'll do anything to save Mayuri.
冗談よ。本気にするな。
Karisu stands up and looks at her watch.
さて、もうあまり時間もないからこれからあたふたするよりもっとじっくり対策を練った方がいい。
つまり
今からもっと前の時間に飛んでおく。そこで改めて私に事情を説明して。
Karisu's right. My actions so far have been almost entirely random. And look where that's got me. I need a real plan if I'm gonna save Mayuri.
行こう。
Karisu stretches out her hand. I grasp it and pull myself up. Mayuri and Do are already back when we return to the lab. Suzuha is there too. To get rid of them, Karisu and I explained that we forgot to do the shopping. So could they please take care of it for us? I have to cough up the money to convince them to go, but it works.
マユリ本人はともかく橋田にも話さないの？
必要になったら話す。
For now, it's not. I don't have time to explain. While Karisu sets up the machine, I head downstairs to the Brown Tube workshop, kick the door open, and turn on the 42-inch CRT. It went more smoothly than I anticipated. It's highly illegal, of course, but I'll leave long before the cops get here. Karisu looks shocked when I return to the lab.
住居侵入罪で逮捕されるわよ。
どうせ過去に戻れば今のはなかったことになる。
Karisu hands me the headgear and I put it on.
そっか。あんたの主観じゃそうなるわけだ。私の主観だとどうなるんだろう。あんたが飛んだ後、ここはどうなる？
そのデータもすぐに取れる。
My consciousness travels to the past. That I know from experience. But what about the body I leave behind? If time is a straight line, then it's likely that the present will be reconstructed on my actions in the past. But if the many worlds interpretation holds, then after I leave, this world will continue on as if nothing happened. I used to be so fascinated by the structure of the universe, but now I don't really care. All that matters is saving Mayuri. Karisu's fingers stop typing on the keyboard.
どうした？
うん。考えたら思考がループしちゃってた。
D メールのような状態になるかもしれない。
The instant we send a D-mail, the present changes around us. Thanks to reading Steiner, only I remember what it was like before the change.
その方が楽だけど悔しくもある。
データを観測できないからか？
そういうこと。
Karisu nods and begins tinkering with the settings again.
転送先は5時間前にしておいた。つまり午後1時40分くらい。覚えてる？私がタイムリープマシーンを完成させたのは2時過ぎだった。
Barely. For Karisu, that happened only 5 hours ago. For me, it feels like weeks. Maybe it has been weeks.
時間にルーズな男は嫌われる。感謝しなさいよ。私は時計をよく見る癖があって、何時に何があったかは結構覚えてるの。
Karisu finished typing and turns to face her.
いい、岡部。 タイムリープマシンを使うならこれだけは覚えておいて。携帯電話は絶対に手放さないこと。それはあんたの生命線、局所場指定のマーカーなの。それさえ持ち続けていればどの時間へも跳躍はできる。でももし手放してしまって誰かに使われたら。
And if I leap to that time, my memories could overwrite theirs. I don't want to imagine what might happen next.
あるいは充電が切れたり壊されたりしたら。
Then I won't be able to leap to that time. If it breaks, then I can get a new phone with the same number, but there will still be a period of time to which I can never leap.
タイムリープは成功しない。だから絶対に携帯を手放しちゃダメ。
了解だ。
今日の昼間にタイムリープしたら2時に私がマシンを完成させるまではあんたは特別なことはしてはいけない。これが完成しないときっとこの時間までの流れが大きく変わってしまう。完成したらすぐに実験はしないって宣言して全員解散させて。それから私に声をかけてくれればいい。未来から来たって言われれば多分私は信じる。
なんでわかる？
私のことは私が一番よく知ってる。
Kurisu grins faintly and stands up after she's done typing.
そもそも電話レンジを改良してタイムリープマシンを作ったのは私なのだぜ。さっきあんたからタイムリープしてきたって言われた時は自分の理論は間違ってなかったって思えた。成功してよかったって思えた。何の疑問もなくね。
I see.
念のためにキーワードを決めておきましょう。私の今一番欲しいものはマイフォークである。
に？
あ、いや別に意味なんてないからな。
マイフォークが欲しいのか？
マイスプーンはもう持ってるからってそこに興味持つな。はいはい、準備できた。いつでも行ける。
I nodded, called the phone away, playing subject to change.
気をつけて。私はいつだってあんたの味方よ。
Kurisu touches my shoulder and steps away. I lay back on the sofa with my phone in my hand, needles in my brain, a whining in my ears, a whining in my ears. These sensations never get any easier to endure. I look at the clock. It's about 1:45. There's a high school baseball game on TV. In about 15 minutes, Kurisu will finish the time leap machine. All it needs are some final adjustments, so there's nothing for me to do but wait. As the pain in my brain subsides, I realize that my head is throbbing. Why? Oh, I remember. Right before this, I had an argument with Mr. Braun in which he introduced his fist to my skull. My Yuri's at her sewing machine, working on her costume. Daru's at his computer, collecting moe artwork from the internet. Kurisu's in the development room, upgrading the time loop machine. I sit, motionless as the minutes tick by. Suddenly, the sound of the sewing machine stops.
おかりおかり、ちょっと来て。
My Yuri shows me her costume.
これをね、持っててくれないかな。こうしてピローンって広げて。
まゆし、今のビローンもう一度。
ピロ
ビローンいただきました。
もうやだこの変態。
I follow Mayuri's directions and spread the costume up at the sleeves.
ありがとう。
Mayuri looks a little tired. She was working on this costume all night. And then she smiles, brighter than the sun.
できた
I said something here, didn't I? What was it? I can't remember.
クリスちゃんより先にできたよ。競争してたんだ。負けたわ、まゆり。お見事ね。でもこっちももう終わりよ。
Curse to finish connecting the two cords she's holding.
完成。
Alright, it's my cue.
実験はしない。
Crap, was that too soon?
いきなり全否定とか。私が何のために苦労して作ったと思ってんのよ。
タイムリープには問題が山積みだ。その点についてじっくり検証したい。
あんたにしてはまともな意見だな。
何が問題なのかな。完成したんじゃないの。
詳しくは後日説明する。今日はみんな疲れているだろうから解散にしよ
完成祝いにちょっとでもパーッとやったりしないの？
う。それも後日だ。
I managed to convince Daru and Mayuri to leave. I lent Mayuri my phone charger, since we use the same brand of phone. Kurisu tries to go home, but I quietly keep her back.
何？
不満か？
ええ。
Probably because I shot her down right after she finished the time loop machine. She'll feel relieved later, but only after she has time to fully consider its implications.
俺は5時間後から来た。
Kurisu spears you with a piercing glare.
何の冗談？
Her narrowed eyes make you believe that looks can kill.
睨むな。お前言っていることが全然違うではないか。何が未来から来たと言われれば多分信じるだ。
は？何そのバカっぽいセリフ。
5時間後のお前が言ったんだぞ。
捏造しないで。私が多分信じるみたいな論理性皆無の発言するわけないでしょ。
I like to have a word with future curse. This is how you're gonna be. Then you leave me no choice but to quote you word for word.
タイムリープが成功したことを聞かされたお前は何の疑問もなく自分の理論は間違ってなかったって思えた。成功してよかったって思えたとも言った。そもそも電話レンジを改良してタイムリープマシンを作ったのは私なのだぜ。
私はそんなのだぜみたいな話し方しない。
お前が今一番欲しいものはマイフォークである。
Curse's face suddenly turns red.
マイスプーンはすでに持っているそうだな。
そんなことまで話したのか。恨むぞ、5時間後の私。
She appears genuinely shocked for some reason. I'm pretty sure she believes me now.
心の中を覗き見されたような気分よ。しかもよりによって岡部にと。
What does she think I'm gonna do?
でもあんたの言うことは信じてよさそうね。詳しく聞かせて。
I explain everything to Kurisu again. How to organize my thoughts better since this is my second, or I'm able to organize my thoughts better since this is my second time.
なるほどね。あんたの言うことが事実ならかなりまずい状況だな。
There are 5 hours until Mayuri's death. You need to come up with a plan before then.
5時間後の私は時間順序保護仮説かもって言ってたらしいけど、それともちょっと違う気がする。あの仮説は因果率が狂う恐れがあるからタイムトラベルの可能性は量子論により否定されるっていうものよ。 でもタイムリープの場合、タイムパラドックスはそもそも起きない。
Two of me don't exist at the same time. I don't bring anything with me to the past. All that changes is a memory stored in my temporal lobe. So at the very least, time looping can't cause a grandfather paradox.
やはり世界の意志だ。宇宙そのものが検閲をするかのように、俺が歪ませた地上の修正を行っているとしか思えない。
だとしたらタイムリープじゃマユリは救えないっていうことになる。何をしたって修正されちゃうんだから。
そんなのは認めない。
同意するわ。世界の意思説は非現実的すぎる。私は支持したくない。
多世界解釈ならどうだ。マユリが死なない可能性を観測できれば解決だ。
多世界解釈か。マユリの死に方がいつも違うっていうのは関係あるのかな。でも重ね合わせ状態になっているいくつもの可能性世界は相互観測が不可能なのに、あんたはどうして観測できてるの？
それはこの俺の特殊能力であるリーディングシュタイナーが。
ダメだこいつ、早く何とかしないと。
他に説明のしようがない。
特殊能力ってあんたね、もしかしてそれ本気で言ってたのか？
ふざけているつもりはないぞ。
Yes, our Dumel experiments prove that I can somehow perceive changes in the timeline when they occur. It's an ability only I seem to possess.
特殊能力だかなんだか知らないけど、そんな不確定的なものを頼る気にはなれない。だいたいどの可能性を観測するかを制御しようがないんだから、多世界解釈だろうがなんだろうが、マユリが死なない可能性に至るのは無理よ。
待て、これでは話が進まないではないか。解釈の話はいいから、俺たちにできることを考えるべきだ。
タイムリープじゃ結果は変えられない。さっきそう言った。
じゃあどうするんだ？
落ち着け。
落ち着いていられるか？俺が一体何度マユリの死を目の当たりにしたと思ってるんだ。あいつが無残に血を流して生き絶えていくのを俺は目の前で何度も見ていたんだ。何度も見ていることしかできなかったんだ。
I hear my teeth grinding in my skull, recalling that despair, that feeling of utter powerlessness. Makes me want to lash out at everything within reach.
感情に身を任せてたって何も解決しない。
当事者じゃないからそんなに冷静でいられるんだろう。
そうね。私には5時間後のことはわからない。正直なところ実感が湧かない。でもあんたの言ってることを信じてないわけじゃない。岡部がしっかりしなきゃ。
Kurisu pats my arm. Her hand is warm, her touch is gentle. How American of her.
悪かった。
She's right. Getting emotional won't solve anything. I need to calm down.
そも
Calm
そも
down.
原因が違うのに必ず同じ結果に至るというのが解せない。因果が歪んでいるとしか思えない。
マユリの死の原因は桐生萌香が発砲するじゃなくて、もっとマクロなことなんじゃない？タイムマシンを作ったことか、あるいはセルンにハッキングしたことがバレたことあたりね。その結果としてマユリが死ぬ。そう考えるなら因果は歪んでないって言える。
苗に背中を押されて電車にひかれるのもそれで説明できるのか？
あ、そっか。でも因果律は絶対のルールなのよ。それを否定したら全ての物理学も否定されてしまう。だから必ずマユリが死ぬのには原因がある。
その原因さえわかるならなんとかなるかも。
そうでもない。
どういうことだ。
その原因となる出来事がいつ起こったというのが問題になってくる。あまり時間が経っているようだと対処できないわ。
タイムリープマシンがあるから、携帯電話を持っている時代の範囲内ならどこへでも戻れるはずだろう。
戻れない。予測だけどタイムリープマシンは一度に最長で48時間しか跳躍できないと思う。
48 hours. I can only go back 2 days?
なぜ今さらそんなことを。
今さらってタイムリープマシンが完成したのはついさっきじゃない。
That's true.
5時間後のお前も言わなかった。
ああ、そういうことか。言い出すタイミングがなかったのかも。
で、48時間しか飛べない理由は。
わからない。私もマシンの全ての原理や構造を理解して作ったわけじゃないから。連続での跳躍は可能よ。タイムリープマシンが存在している限りね。例えば10年後までタイムリープマシンが壊れずに残っていたのなら10年の時間を遡ってくることはできる。単純計算で1825回タイムリープする必要があるからかなりのリスクになりそうだけど、とにかく理論上は可能なの。
だったら何も問題は。
大あり。言ったでしょ、タイムリープマシンが存在している限りって。あのマシンはいつ完成した？
あ、
そう、ほんの1時間前。2010年8月13日の午後2時ぐらい。それ以前には存在していない。マシンを使うのは今日の2時以降じゃないと不可能なのよ。
つまり過去方向へは。
Count 48 hours back.
8月11日の14時までしか行けないと。
Kurisu nods, her expression grave.
おそらく
改良できないのか。
将来的にできるかもしれないけど今のこの状況じゃ無理。もっときちんとした設備のあるところでお金をたくさん使ってきちんとしたパーツを使えばなんとかなるかもしれないけど、それをやろうとしてもどうせセルンに潰されると思う。未来の私かあんたが未だにタイムリープしてきていないという回で証明終了かな。
So basically.
結局何もできないということではないか。タイムリープマシンがあっても5時間後にマユリがセルに殺される運命は結局避けられないのかよ。
The moment I hear a sound from outside the window. Nori? Is it Moika? Is she overhear us? I dash to the window and look down at the street. It's Susa. Her bicycle has fallen over. She's scurrying to pick it up. Our eyes meet.
あいつ
Why does she look so pale? Her lips move slightly. Like she's whispering something, but I can't make it out from her.
おい。
I call out to Susa, but she leaps on her bike and zips away. She's acting strange. Small conspiracy. Monica was a spy. Susa will be the same. It's too dangerous to trust anyone. Susa has exhibited suspicious behavior, though not as much as Monica has. She's openly hostile towards Kurusu and was able to take down CERN's hit squad single-handedly. I wonder if this missing father of hers really exists. Could he be John Titer, who's been posting on the internet? What's the meaning of Barrel Titer? Instinct tells me she knows something. Like that shadow below.
ちょっとどこ行くの？
I know I don't have much chance of catching her on foot, but I have to try. There's something going on here. It's a completely new sequence of events. According to my memories of the future, was supposed to remain at the Brown Tube Workshop until 6:30 this evening. When she overheard me talking to Kurisu, so I took off like a bat out of hell. This has to mean something. Suzuha's already out of sight, but when she left, she was headed for Chuodori. I wonder if her phone's on. Yeah, I should just try calling her. Now think of it, this reminds you of something. On the day she failed to meet her father, she disappeared without a word, just saying an email saying bye. I searched the town, but I couldn't find her. So I sent an email that changed the password in order to make her stay. Pretty sure I lost her near the station back then. What happened on that timeline? Where did Suzuha go after failing to find her father? I searched up and down Shuadori to find no trace of Suzuha or her bike. I have to be careful. There could be rounders here in Akiba. I combed the area around the station's main exit, but there's no sign of her anywhere. I lost sight of her here before, so I thought she might be close by. Maybe I should corner her on my next time loop, press her for answers before she can escape. Better get back to the lab. I started walking away from the station, but just then, the people around me gasped and point. Everyone's looking up at the sky. No, not at the sky. The satellite embedded in the roof of Radicam. Why now? It's been here for 2 weeks. It's practically a landmark now. But everyone looks like they're seeing it for the first time. So I turn and look up too. Hold on, give me 1 second, please. Dang, when does it come out, man? What the hell? Alright, whatever. The lights in the satellite are blinking. Someone inside. Who? The satellite has remained silent all throughout my previous time loops. What has changed? Obviously, the fact that Suzuha overheard my conversation with Kurisu. Previously, I lost sight of her at the station. In other words, right next to Radicam. Suzuha must be up there. I'm staring at the satellite, so I chance to sneak in without being noticed. Shutters are half open, just as they were when I confronted Moeka. I spun my courage and crawled through the crack. When I get inside, the first thing I see is Suzuha's bike lying on the floor. What's she trying to do? What's that satellite? How is it related to John Titor? Is it even a satellite? Nobody knows for sure. I checked online. Most satellites fell out of orbit that day. When they do, whether by accident or design, they usually burn up in the atmosphere. It's impossible for one to land in such perfect condition. So what is it then? A jolt suddenly runs through my body. Oh, could it be a time machine? There's only one way to know for sure. I need to get there before Suzuha does something. The elevator and escalator are operating, so I bound up the stairs 2 at a time. My lungs gas and my legs burn, but I force my body to carry me to the top. There's a satellite lodged in Radicam's roof. I know there's wires holding it in place. The police must have done that so it wouldn't fall. There's a hatch open on the side of the machine. I see someone moving inside. The person freezes when I shout. I run to the satellite.
岡部凛太郎
50% of the CGs unlocked. Man, there's so many CGs. I'm trying to I'm trying to Suzuha turns to me with a sad expression. Behind her, I can see the interior of the satellite. It's surprisingly simple, without the switches and buttons you'd expect. Instead, there's a black box the size of a desktop PC. There are numbers on screen. 2010, August 13th, and below that, 1975, August 13th. Suzuha reaches out to press a button. Sparks burst from the panel. She jerks back, her fingertips burn.
何をしている？
動かない
動かし方を知っているのか？
She doesn't reply. I see her shoulders
動
sag.
かないよ
Those sparks had to be from an electrical short. My eyes are burning from the smoke.
答えろ。天音鈴は
I swallow hard, then ask the
これ
question.
はタイムマシンだ。お前はタイムトラベラーなのか？
With her head hung low, Suzuha nods.
ジョン・タイターだよ
There it is. There's the reveal. Ah, man. It's finally revealed. Omare Suzuha is not only a time traveler, she's John Titor of this timeline. Man. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. I thought it was going to be the end of the chapter, but we're not there yet. You still have a big crowd outside, so we exit the building on the side, facing away from the station. Suzuha has calmed down a bit, so I started pressing her for answers.
お前がジョン・タイターとはどういうことだ？
そのまんまの意味だよアットチャンネルに書き込んでたジョン・タイターはさ
I'm John
私なの
男だと思っていた。
Suzuha smiles humorously.
まんまと騙されたカムフラージュの意味もあるんだよね
何から隠れようとしていた？
セルン
ジョン・タイターとして書き込んだことはもしかして？
そう一部を除いてほとんどが事実
It's those exceptions that
お
bother
前
me.
は2036年から来たというのか？あの人工衛星、いやタイムマシンに乗って。
Dang, that's crazy. Suzuha was born in 2018. That's wild. Almost 10 years old in 3 years.
本当は正体明かさないままでいようと思ったんだけどさよりによって
Yeah, no, never mind. I'm right.
マ
Yeah.
シンが故障してるなんて完全に私の失策だ
だがタイターのタイムマシンはシボルエに積まれていたはず。
シボルエ車だっけそれどこからの情報
2000年に現れたタイターが自分でそう言った。
2000年それもしかすると別の世界線の私かもね少なくとも私は2000年には行ってない2036年からまっすぐここに来た
So someone else. It's true that Tider never posted in 2000, not on the current world line anyway. It doesn't matter. Can't worry about that later.
お前は何を知っている？
I pressed Suzuha for answers, trapping her between me and the wall so she can't escape.
さっき俺とクリスの話を聞いていたな。なぜあんなに慌ててタイムマシンに向かった？お前は何をしようとしたんだ？
私のせいかと思って。
何？
私がここでのんびりしてたせいでセルンの好きにさせちゃったんだ。ねえ、本当なの？
Suzuha suddenly grabs my
椎
shoulders.
名真由里があと数時間後にセルンに殺されるって本当？
事実だ。俺は5時間後からタイムリープしてきた。
タイムリープ。君たちのタイムマシン完成したんだ。
それより答えろ。お前の生徒はどういうことなんだ？
Suzuha bites her lip and looks away.
全部話すよ。私のこと話さなくちゃいけないと思う。君とマキセ・クリスには。
Curse him. I curse him. Guess I'll find out if I let Suzuha talk. Should head back to the lab. But first, I offer Suzuha my handkerchief. She looks at me for a second, then takes it and ties it around her burned hand.
サンキュー。
Yep. Ah. Alright. I am gonna stop here for tonight, fellas. Yeah, there we go. Still chapter 6? Still chapter 6. No, wait, no, what am I talking about? Chapter 6 is going on for, hasn't been going on for that long at all. Let me see, how far back? Started the 12th. And we are now on the 2nd of, the 3rd of July. So yeah, we're done. We're done for tonight. But yeah, hope you all have a good rest of your night. Going on for 2.5 hours. You know, a pretty good stream, I'd say. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Hope you have a great rest of your night. And yeah, you know, video coming out whenever. But yeah.